So we'd love to open it up for questions from anybody in the audience. We've got some mics running around up
But first, can we acknowledge the rest of the cast that's here? I see Alpha Everett. Stand up, Alpha. Stand up, Fred. Christian.
Curran and
Christian over here, guys. That's all you, Nancy. Sorry. I want to apologize for the way the show looked. It's really beautiful and rich in color, and my team back there, they're back there. What's happening with the color? What's going on? They're running around. Everything's good, guys. It's all good. They'll see it on TLC.
Do we have any questions out there?
Good evening.
Good evening. May the Lord watch.
Question to you is, of course, this is a departure from what we normally see from Tyler Perry, especially when it comes to the cast. What were the challenges, or were there any challenges, dealing with a different type of cast? Usually you're more all black cast, and this one is totally different. You kind of like flip the script. So what was the, were there any challenges with that whatsoever?
Working with white people is hard. It's a great question because honestly for me, seriously, there is no difference. There's absolutely no difference. People are people. And for me, what was going on is I had these ideas in my head, and usually when I sit down and I start to write, I don't necessarily see color, size, race, anything like that when I'm starting to write a story, unless I'm specifically setting a story. Unless it's Medea, I know she's black. You know, but when I started this show, I just started writing, and as I was seeing these characters and hearing from them, when I started to cast it, I started to see the people that you see up here, and they're doing a phenomenal job on the show, and I'm pretty excited about it. That Norman Lear never got. Norman, what makes you think that you can do Good Times? You've been working with white people now. So I mean, I just think there's no difference in all of us. We all share the same ability to have the same amount of pain, the same amount of love, the same amount of forgiveness that's needed. So it's just another side of a story that I wanted to tell.
Is there an overall message or theme that you're hoping the audience walks away with after watching this series?
Yeah, for me, everything that I've ever done has always been about family, faith, forgiveness, and a lot of those things run through this show as well. And as you watch the arc of Old Lady, you'll see a lot of those things come up without being so. Yeah, I forgot. Brooke, is she here?
Oh, I'm here.
Pop is in my like. Wait a minute, I forgot. Then I forgot Danielle. Wait, she's over here. But no. To answer your question, what was your question?
Is there an overall message or theme you're hoping?
Yes. The overall message is no matter where you go, no matter how far you try to travel, no matter how far you try to get away from life, it all comes back to you, and you have to face everything that you've left behind in some kind of way. If you didn't leave it right, if it's not cleaned up the right way, if it wasn't done right, some kind of way it's going to show up in your life again. And unfortunately, it showed up on the president's desk, and now she's back out.
My question is, love the scenes in the Oval. Any inspiration from Shonda Rhimes, since we've seen a little bit of friskiness in the Oval with that show? And if so, your thoughts on that?
Well, of course, but let me tell you something. Shonda is, of course you get inspiration from Shonda. I mean, just Scandal is such a great show. I love Carrie to death. But yeah, when you have these moments and you have the Oval Office, everybody wants to know what's really going on there. You know, to tell you the truth, what I found out is the president doesn't really spend a whole lot of time in there. There's a little office to the side where he actually works. That's just a big, beautiful museum, from what I understand. But yeah, of course, it was a bit inspirational. How could she not be?
And follow up, is there a second door into the Oval? Aren't there 2 entrances?
Yes, there one on each side, but they're 4 inches actually, but they're into the wall.
Okay.
That's actually a direct replica, direct size, everything of the actual one in DC.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, nobody's got any questions? Thank you. Somebody said where to film? This is the first show that was filmed at the new Tyler Perry Studios, which is Fort McPherson. This first show completely filmed on the lot. We didn't leave it all. Do a second look back there.
Obviously, we're in an election year, and I wondered if that had any influence, since the show has political undertones, if that had any influence, and then also the Monica Lewinsky scandal, where you're drawing. Obviously, there's clearly some, likeness to the Monica Lewinsky scandal, but did that influence you at all? And the fact that we're in an election year, did that influence you, or are you playing on that at all?
No. First of all, the playing on the listen. I think I got more material out of this election than I could get out of it. I mean, I have enjoyed this train wreck, man. I've enjoyed it so much. It's sad to say that I have enjoyed it. I couldn't write this better. TLC couldn't come up with a reality show that would be better right now. But as far as Monica Lewinsky, no, I didn't. There's always a bit of truth in all art. Or in jokes, there's always a bit of something in it, but I didn't particularly pull on any scandals from anybody's past. It's not something that I want to do or even want to revisit. But a lot of times when you have reality that has happened, somewhere in the back of your head it may be living. But I will tell you honestly, that wasn't my intention at all. But these kinds of things happen. They happen with the governor, they happen with the mayor, they happen with in the last 5 years. I mean, there's a list of them that would really shock you.
As an aspiring filmmaker, I have a question for you. Did you go into TLC with this idea? Is this something that has been in your arsenal for a long time and you just check them off as you go? Or is this something that they asked of you? Did you go in and pitch this?
Yeah.
Or did they ask? Do you have anything political? Or how did this project come about?
I've never pitched anything. I've never gone into a meeting. What happened in this situation was Nancy and TLC. TLC is owned by Discovery, and part of the Oprah Winfrey Network is owned by Discovery. So the head of Discovery called and said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing this?" So we started talking about it and kicking it around. I called Nancy, and we had some long conversation. And I thought, what if we did a show that would be based on as many reality shows, let's pull a bit and pieces out of all of the shows that you have on TLC and see what happens. And that's what we came up with. So it was designed specifically for this particular audience of TLC.
I don't think we had one in the White House.
No, you don't have one in the White House. Yeah. But there's one called Trump Train that's coming. Trump Train. Yeah.
And the second part of my question is there any difference to you? Someone asked about the racial, made a racial comment. I mean, poor, is that wrong to say poor white trash is kind of like black trash? I mean, I don't mean it racial. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Is there, like, ghetto is ghetto? Did somebody cut the mic off? Sorry. Ghetto is ghetto, right? I mean,
The mic off for real?
And to clarify what you're saying, I think what you're saying is the struggle is the same. So
Yes.
no matter where you are, if you're in the trailer park or if you're in the projects,
Yes, it's
the struggle
about
is
the money.
the
Yes.
struggle's really the same.
Right.
It's about a
Economics.
lot of things that a lot of people deal with in both those different areas, no matter what the race.
Right.
It's the same issues. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, okay. Hi.
My question is for Heather Locklear, which I absolutely fabulous job. You were so good. And I've been watching you. I think all of us, 90s, 80s. Yeah, we've been watching you, and your work has just grown immensely. How did this role how did you tap into this? Because this is a little bit different from some of the work you've done in your past, and it was beautiful.
No, thank you. That's really sweet. I thought it was such a great opportunity to play the First Lady. Yes, I'm that old. I can be the First Lady.
You look wonderful. You doing it justice.
Thank you. But Tyler got a hold of my agents, called me, and just told me about the story, and it sounded so good, and I'm a fan of Tyler's, and I just was jumped at the opportunity. And then I read the script and thought it was amazing, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. I mean, that I read and I thought I could do, and so I was really excited to jump on board.
Your strength was really riveting. It was nice to watch.
Thank you. I did very strong.
TLC has had a history of building tiny homes in a week. How incredible to build this home in 8 days and 8 episodes, each of you individually.
What was the question? How was the what?
How great of a feeling and what challenges have you guys had in building this home in 8 days and 8 episodes?
Challenges. Well, there's no wasted time on a Tyler Perry set. Every second is used. There's not a wasted second ever. He on dinner breaks, he goes and does work and doesn't eat dinner. So you just come prepared. You do your homework, and make your choices, and he will guide the ship if it gets off the track. And I just kept saying, Jesus, take the wheel.
I think one of the cool things about it is you knew you had to be prepared from the beginning. We were prepared, told that things could jump around. If we had a rain outside, we might move in. So we pretty much had to prepare the entire season before we started, and I think we got the script 4 days in advance. So we had a lot of work to do, but it's kind of how I always studied for tests. I couldn't get started studying until I knew if I don't start now, I'm not going to get the A. But this just put it, like you had to read the script over and over. I read it 4 or 5 times. I probably wouldn't have done that work. I knew exactly what happened the moment before each scene because I knew if I wasn't, I could get lost. And luckily for me, on TV, I've only shot 1 day. I've never shot more than 1 day on a TV show. So my experience in features, you jump around. So it was really kind of like shooting a feature film, and but it pushed you to really get into your character before we even started. And so it I thought it was a lifesaver in a weird way. And then also you knew, you're going to go in there, do your work, and you couldn't worry about getting an extra take or, I actually thought it ended up helping me particularly just make sure I was ready each day and had some choices made before I went in there and wasn't just shooting blind.
Brooke?
Yeah. Well, to add to that, because that was all great, I think also we bonded so quickly because we had to. It's like we're in this together. Like we all have to lift each other up. We all have to be on board. And I think we all got really tight really quickly. It was like we became sisters like that. It's like a hug in, and we're doing it. I think you have to completely commit. By the way that Tyler works, there's no halfway. There's no phoning it in. You really have to dive in because he's a genius, and you want to be giving him your best take because you're going to get one.
I think it was actually refreshing. Obviously, there was so much hard work that went into day one, and then it kind of just kept going. It was a snowball effect. So at that point, you kind of didn't have time to think, and it was refreshing because you just had to go with your instincts. I mean, you couldn't, as actors, we spend sometimes a whole day doing one scene. Mm-hmm. I mean, on this, no.
No. You did this show in a day.
Yeah, so you couldn't overthink it, which is actually so refreshing because that's really just all of our instincts, which I think pays so much tribute to the cast that you cast.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, well, they say, this is one thing I kept hearing on set, is if you can make it with Tyler Perry, you can make it anywhere. And, well, for me, I kind of had the opposite effect because they were building my barn house, and that huge house you see there, they built in, what, 10 days? Was it 10 days altogether?
Yeah.
And so, instead of diving right in, almost all of my scenes are in this house. So, I wait until the end of the week, you know, basically, to shoot all my scenes, and I shot everything in basically a day and a half.
Oh, wow.
I can't tell you what scene is in the second episode or the fourth, because it's the exact same for me right now. But it was definitely something where, you know, you take a hold, you grab on, and you just have faith and trust Tyler, and you know, that's what turned out. So.
Terrifying and exhilarating is all I can say. Thank you.
I must be the only guy that did not know that we were going to shoot 8 episodes, and they kept it secret from me. As an actor, if I was told that in Los Angeles, you're going to go somewhere and shoot 1 episode or 8 in 8 days, I never would have taken the job. Honestly, I would have been terrified. And I got to tell you, the best part about this whole production was the inspiration that I gained, because separate of acting, I'm involved in producing. And I watched what he's doing and how fast he's doing. Like, I found out the day I showed up, oh, we're doing 8 episodes. And I was like, in what, 8 days? I got really concerned about the quality of the show. I thought, how are you ever going to pull off 8 episodes in 8 days? And then you watch it, and he's got 3 cameras rolling at once. They're handheld. You got the lighting, and it all works. And I read the script, and it's a 46-page script, and there's no action in between dialogue. Normally, as an actor, if you read a script and you open 5 pages and there's no action, it's in the garbage can. You don't even bother reading it. But the scripts you couldn't put down, and they didn't need all the other junk that most scripts have. And then you watch how fast he shot it, and then you see the production value. It's, you know, it's kind of a wake-up call, and I think a lot of the networks are going to have a wake-up call.
Listen, I don't try to make it a secret. I just know that I didn't learn here. I didn't come in through this door. I didn't come in through the system. So when I came, everything seemed wrong. To take 5 hours. I was on this one movie, and shit. I was on this one movie, and we shot 12 hours. They didn't even get to me that day. 12 hours while they were shooting these fight scenes, and I was just completely shocked at the amount of wasted time, and I found it so egregious. So what I've learned to do is, because I was broke and I had to do everything myself, I learned to do everything myself. So as I'm shooting, I'm editing all the time. So I know when I got the shot, I know when the cuts are coming. So there's not a committee of people there. It's just me making the decisions and the choices, and hopefully it all works out. Yeah, but to get this kind of show in a day is unheard of. It's unheard of in this town. It would take 7 days. And I wish when you see it on television, you see it in this full glory and its full color and see how beautiful it really is. It takes a lot of, the team has to be right. The actors have to be right. Everybody has to be pulling in the same direction, because if you get one person off the train that's going in a different direction and you're trying to focus and move it forward, it can throw everything off. So usually I kick those people, their ass off the train, and we keep going. But we get it all worked out. Can I ask you this? I want everybody in this room that works for me, stand up. That is incredible. You're half the audience. Okay.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming tonight. And I'll just say, from my perspective, doing this process with you and with Tyler Perry Studios and with this cast, I mean, we started this process about 7 months ago, if you really think about it, which is, you know, for us, you know, crazy fast as well, but also, I'll agree with you, Heather, terrifying and exhilarating, and we're really excited. So thank you all for coming.